This episode is brought to you by Hyperice, the leader in advanced warm-up and recovery technology. They have tons of innovative products, like Venom-heated wearables to help soothe sore back muscles, Normatec compression boots to speed up recovery and increase circulation, and Hypervolt massage guns to improve mobility. Loved by athletes like Naomi Osaka and Erling Haaland. Try them yourself. Get 10% off your order with the code MOVE at hyperice.com.
Hello and welcome to the Publicly Challenged Podcast. I'm your host, Luke Oswald, and I hope you join me on my quest for knowledge to become a better public land hunter, angler, and forager. Stick with this and who knows, maybe we will learn something together. All right, real quick before we get started on the show, I'm just going to talk about Treeline Academy. You've heard me say it. I can't even tell you how many times. Mark Livesey is treelineacademy.net. That's treelineacademy.net. Sign up. Use the promo code PC2020. Save yourself $20. Can't say it enough. It's awesome. Amazing. Most comprehensive e-scouting course out there. Check it out for yourself. Sign up. Use promo code PC2020. And now let's get to the show. All right, so I'm sitting here live at the Genesis 3D Saddle Tune-Up event. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool. I got the award for driving the furthest, but that's cool. Glad to be here. It was awesome, and I can't imagine what it's going to entail next year. So let's kind of go around, and everybody will just introduce yourself. I'm Luke, the host Publicly Challenged, and you are?
Sam, the MCO guy.
And I am Austin Kantola, the guy who hosted this event for Genesis 3D printing.
And Dano, Eastern Woods Outdoors.
All right. So kind of talk about, like, how did this come about, Austin? Where did you come up with the idea? What made you want to do it?
I don't know. My wife and I have been talking for a while, and she does, like, craft shows that we do. We used to travel for them, and she started doing them at her house just because of COVID and just trying to, I don't know, come up with something different. And so we started doing them for her, and I noticed that it was just a kind of a cool event. And then for us, I've been to, like, teach and train and stuff like that for Tethered, and I was like, man, this would just be really cool to get people together and just, I don't know, be in community with people. So that's kind of how it came about. And then Dano and Sam, I was just like, you guys want to come? I mean, it could be a blast. It could be the worst thing ever, too, though.
Yeah, no, I think, like, these past couple year and a half, whatever, 2 years has been kind of crappy with so many things canceled and different events. And the fact that you've got this awesome space to do it and everybody's outside and enjoying themselves, it's pretty cool to get people back together and actually meeting up and having fun and doing all kinds of stuff and cool and seeing a bunch of cool products.
Yeah.
So let's kind of talk about, Sam, you and I just did a podcast. Welcome back.
Yep.
Podcast number 2 on the same podcast. I don't know.
2 in
We're
1
gonna
week.
have to get you on some other ones.
Or just have them on every week.
Right, or you could be a weekly guest, co-host.
For sure.
But so real quick, let's do a recap of, like, some of your stuff, what you got going on.
Just normal stuff, daisy chains, rope mods, USA. USA seemed like a big hit today. Lots of people liked them. I didn't really bring too much today. Just kind of wanted to bring a little bit, get everyone to see a little bit of everything I got. But I think we got everything out there that everyone needed to see, and I think lots of people like the USA at the end of the day. I probably got 20 people that bought some today, so that was nice. I saw lots of cool gear I haven't seen yet, like the new tethered sticks and everything like that. So it was a fun event.
Yeah. So talk about the USA again, because it's awesome. It's kind of almost revolutionary, if we will, right? Well, I'm going to go there because I will never use another stick attachment method, even though I made a post the other day about a stick, and it was like an hour later, Sam's calling me and being like, hey, dude, just so you know, there's another way you could attach it, and telling me the different way to attach it. And I'm like, man, I don't think I need to. The original way it was intended is perfect for a stick. I don't need to add extra steps. So kind of tell a little bit more about it, like how it attaches and what's going on with it.
The original way I intended for it was to have the Prusik slide down and just slip it right over the Versa button, tighten it down, and you're done. A couple people messaged me after they got theirs, and they want to do like almost a trucker hitch on it, and they use like a rope mod underneath the Versa button, go around and go through the Prue stick, and then back to the Versa button, and it gets it really tight to the tree, but it defeated the purpose of what I originally intended it for, which was the simplicity of just attaching it to the Versa button. But there's multiple ways to use it, and they all work.
Hence a saddle hunter, right?
Yep.
Changing absolutely everything and modifying any little thing they can to make it their own, even though it wasn't the original purpose of it. But I think the original purpose of it is pretty neat, and making things simple and not noisy. The weight doesn't matter, like you and I have talked about before. The weight doesn't matter to me if it's quiet and it's easy to use. But the whole Amsteel thing is just a huge, huge bonus. I mean, now you can pack it in your pack and you don't even know it's there. So that's pretty cool. And Dano, you want to go into kind of who you are and why you're here exactly?
Yeah, so it's hard to decide what to bring today because we have too many products, can't bring it all, and we don't have enough stock. So just kind of brought a couple samples of what we have. We pretty much try to have all the accessories, everything for saddle hunting except the saddle. So multiple ways up the tree. So today we brought just the Ultimate One Stick, and I had a couple of samples there. The one I used last year with Out on a Limb Scout, Angled Scout, and then the other one with the Ultimate Platform, the UP. And it represents a lot of the products that we sell, built right onto that stick. We have the machined aluminum products for climbing sticks, but then we have all the pouches and rope. We do a lot of rope, and that's just something that's kind of hard to bring, all the rope.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, I've multiple times ordered stuff trying to make something and come up with something for, whatever it is, whether it's a platform or making my own stick or modifying sticks because I didn't like the buttons that were on there. First place I go to. And it's funny because I never really, I frequented the website and everything, but never tied Dano together with it because people talk on social media or forums all the time. Like to where Dano was almost like the godfather of DIY projects. He's the go-to guy to get whatever you need from him. And I think the first time I actually tied the two together was when Austin and I did our first podcast together. And he's like, yeah, Dano of Eastern Woods Outdoors. And I'm like, oh, I get it now. Okay, yeah, I know who that guy is. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've seen him on forums and stuff. So it was kind of cool when I met you this morning, and I was like, hey, man, never met you, but bought a lot of junk from you. Not junk, but you know what I mean. A lot of stuff from you before. So nice to finally meet you.
Yes.
Yeah. So how did it come about that, I mean, how long have you been saddle hunting?
Only a few years. So I got on the Saddle Hunter Forum in 2018. And so right on the beginning of the explosion there that we'll attribute to Greg, G2. So we got started. It was not a business that I was looking to start. I'm a computer programmer, and there was a need for double steps. And that's why, to this day, our website is still doublesteps.com.
Yeah.
I had a good friend that started his machine shop. He had left his other company. I asked him if he could make 100 double steps and send to guys. And I said, okay, can you make another 100? And then, okay, I got to put a website up, and I got to start making this easier on me. And then people asked for other product. And we just kind of kept adding and adding and adding until we came up to Eastern Woods Outdoors.
So at what point did you decide to start carrying all the other products? Was it out of necessity for yourself almost, or was it?
Well, that's part of it. That's part of it, definitely. But the way our sticks came about is we had the double steps, and then people wanted replacement brackets that were bigger, for bigger guys, bigger feet, farther away from the tree, sturdier. So we added the brackets, and then we started selling tubes so guys can make their own sticks. Well, we added the button, and now we've got the whole stick.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, now we can sell sticks and then expand from there. So really just kind of evolved 1 month at a time, adding more and more products.
So what's the biggest thing you've kind of learned in this whole journey of, saddle hunting and modifying your own gear? And what have you come up with that's don't ever do that again, or like, what do I need to do in the future?
Well, biggest thing is don't be afraid to modify gear. That's one thing. I mean, that was not something I had done before really I started saddle hunting. You know, you buy a piece of equipment and that equipment stays that way. But man, we modify our gear all the time. But that's how we create new things. You know, come up with new ways of doing things. DIY is awesome. So we encourage it.
It always makes me nervous, though. There's some guys that take it to the limit. Like, especially, It seems like the saddle hunting is like the deep backcountry Western hunter, where they want to take everything to the extreme and they want to just make everything as light as possible. And I don't know. To me, sometimes some of these guys, they sacrifice. Like you and I were talking about safety on our podcast, and it's like, how far do you want to push it? How far do you want to go before something really bad happens? And I don't know, you see those kind of trends happening a lot.
Yeah.
Yep. You cringe when you see it on social media and you're like, oh, no, don't do that.
But so, Austin, what's kind of your thoughts on the gear and all that kind of stuff? How did you end up getting linked up with Dano and meeting him?
I never met Dano until today. And so I was super excited about that. I was like, oh, Dan's coming. I was telling my wife about it. I was like, you're going to meet Dano. I'm like, I've heard stories about this guy. He's like a legend or something. And I kind of like wanted to, I don't know, meet people in person. But I think for Dano, I don't know. I can't remember if I reached out to you, if you reached out to me, something. And we started selling some wholesale to each other. And then I got to a point where I couldn't keep up with Dano's sales of my stuff. And I couldn't keep up with my own sales. So then it was one of those things like, maybe I should just branch away and just kind of do our thing. And it was awesome. It was a good opportunity just for people to get to know my stuff. And I don't know, just everything's a journey or a season that you're in with a business or life in general. So I don't know, that's kind of how I got hooked up with Dano, and it's been a blast. It's not even been 2 years since I started Genesis stuff, and it's like just going crazy.
So let's kind of go into that a little bit for people who've never listened to the previous episode that we've done.
Yep.
Let's kind of go into the business a little bit, like what started it, what drove it.
Yep. So the business is called Genesis 3D Printing. Started it out of necessity to mod my gear, to make stuff that worked well for me because I was cheap and I had an engineering background. And so I was like, I can do this. I can figure this out. So started making stuff that was removing the need to buy like a mechanical ascender or using like a tender or something like that. So started making that, and people just started wanting to buy it when I posted photos of it and stuff. Then made a bow hanger that just worked for every type of gear attachment strap, and made it because I felt like there's not anything out there like that. So that's kind of how, I don't know, Genesis started. It was more just for myself, and then it turned into, okay, we have a lot of debt right now, and if we start this up, we could potentially be debt-free if we do this right. And so my wife and I just kind of went all in on that and got to pay off our loan.
And it happened.
It did happen. So if you are swimming in debt and you want to start a small business, I highly recommend it.
You know, that doesn't always work out like that for a lot of people.
It worked out well for us, so it's got to work for everyone.
I don't think so. Most people put themselves in debt when building a business, but no, that's pretty cool. So what's like the newest and latest? Because last time you and I talked was what, almost a year ago, maybe?
Almost, yeah.
So I mean, since then, what has come out? What's new?
Yes, there's been a lot of stuff. The one thing I didn't really market at this or let anybody really know that I was going to have it is like I built bolt-on Versa hangers that go on like tree stands on the back, so you can kind of hang your sticks as you climb a tree that way. So that's probably like the newest thing. And I showed a few guys that I knew were tree stand guys here, and just kind of showed them, hey, this is something that you may be interested in. I would say like the newest thing would probably be outside of that is the tethered one sticks, those little clips that you bolt onto the top standoff and step. It takes the need to have the pins and stuff like that, so you line the bottom two pins up and snap it over. That's been a really, really good product for us, and guys have actually, it's cool when you make something and somebody buys it and then they reach back out to you and tell you how much they like it. It's like, oh man, that's so satisfying to know like I made something that somebody liked, because they can buy it and they'll be like, it's a gimmick, and throw it in a pile. But like when you get that feedback, like the USA, you've heard lots of guys. I mean, I went to go talk to Sam today just to catch up with him because I was running around, and the guy was sitting there waiting for Sam to finish making USAs for him. And I was like, that's just rewarding to see that.
Yep.
And to see it here, like you can sell stuff online, but when you see it firsthand and you see people like shaking your hand and saying, man, I love this thing.
Yeah, no, that's definitely cool. How many did you crank out today, you think?
Oh,
Not enough, right?
No, not
for the
enough.
van?
20, 25 of them, somewhere in there.
Dang.
How many people do you think wanted one?
A lot. A lot of people wanted them.
I heard a lot.
They'll be back for sale Monday, so.
They'll be sold out because
Sam doesn't
I'm going to
sleep.
need a few more when I get another set of sticks. So, so just kind of, can we talk about other products or no? Probably not yet, huh? You come on and jump in here then. We could just take a headset from somebody and we'll kind of.
Yeah, we gotta get you.
Dan's got to stay because this is part of Dan too.
Oh yeah, here.
No, you're buying that products for it.
Oh, that's true.
I gotta make sure I get your last name right. So I'm sitting here with Brandon Wetzig,
Yes, sir.
and something that I've never quite seen before, and it's pretty cool, right? Like there's a small trade-off for weight, but the compactability, if that's even a real word, I'm not sure at this point. Today I'm pretty tired, but it's amazing. So can you please introduce yourself a little bit? Tell everybody who you are, what your company is, and then we're going to go into your product too.
Okay. I'm Brandon, and I started B7 Outdoors kind of as a, I started another company as well before this, so this is all new. But this product that I came up with, I felt like I had to establish a company to kind of go from there, and that was recommended by Dano. Ended up connecting with him as well, and has really helped me through the whole setup and the process and building the company and all. And originally, I just, through my process of saddle hunting, I've been doing it for about 10 years, toting other equipment and just trying to get really mobile and compact, which is pretty much the goal all of us kind of have. Lightweight, compact, just that mobile hunting is what we're about, so we can chase the hot sign, so we can go after the big bucks. And the other equipment that I was running, I changed between different things, and that's what I either had compactness but more work involved, or I had, one action for 3 steps but had all the bulk. So I'm like, how in the world can a guy have the best of both worlds? And so I just looking at different things, seeing things, trying to observe different things that are already out there, not for hunting, but see if, hey, maybe there's a way a guy can use that for hunting. And so that's where, and that was before a lot of the double step sticks and the aiders and stuff came out, when I started coming up with this idea. And I think that if I would have come out and got those, this product probably would have never come about, because I'd have been like, oh yeah, there we go. And so I just found something. I'm like, hey, I made a wooden structure of it to see how it would work. And then I end up hiring a machinist to mill little aluminum pieces to see, how much better we can make it. And then, end up hooking up with Dano and his machinist and talking to them about it, and made it even better yet. Worked out a few bugs in it. And so, I think we're calling it right now the pocket stick, because literally you can stick it in your pocket.
Yeah. So let's get into it then. It's a collapsible, for anybody out there. You've heard kind of the creation of it, but it's a collapsible stick that it's hard to even describe it. Dano, do you think you could probably do it better than me?
Just picture an accordion or a scissor
There you
stick.
go.
Yes.
It accordions down. So from one length, and you collapse it down.
Yeah. And then so you and I were talking about some things that might be modified over time or whatever, but the original design and the concept of it is it's awesome to see that, like, how small you can actually get that stick. And like you said, put it in your pocket, take it, telescope it out, and put it on a tree and actually stand on it and not have to worry about anything. And it's actually rock solid. I played with it. I've used the USA on it, which is pretty cool to do that too.
Sure.
So I don't know. I need somebody else to describe it better than me because I can't do it. Like I just
from my perspective, it kind of reminds me of like a drying rack, like a collapsible
Yep.
drying rack.
Yep.
It folds open, locks into place, and then
or like a scissor gate, right?
yeah,
Like a, okay.
yeah,
Yep.
something like
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Yep. So it's pretty impressive.
I don't know.
Yep.
I feel like there's more that needs to be said about
When
it
it-
because it's
You gotta see
you
it.
know what I
You
mean.
gotta
You
see
almost
it.
have to
It
see
is.
it.
It is
Yeah.
one
It's
of
a
those
single
products.
step. I mean, it folds down to what, like 6-7 inches, maybe.
It's, I believe, 10 inches long, and it's 3.5 inches wide. And then when you deploy it, it's 18 inches from step to step.
So
So yeah.
it's
Shocking.
yeah. When you see it, you'll
Yeah,
just
it
be
blows
like, "Wow."
guys' minds when they first see it. What is that?
That's
So
so. I was standing talking to somebody I just met here. We were talking about some different products and some people that we know that and the deer that they shot. And I see you walking up, and he starts playing around and showing somebody the stick, and I catch it out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, "What is that? That thing's tiny." And then I look, and you turn around, and you're talking to somebody else, and it's in your back pocket of your jeans, and I'm like, "What is it?" And then finally, there was a break in the conversation, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna go check this out. Like, I need to talk to this guy."
Where's that red
and
flannel guy?
Figure it out. Yeah, the Buffalo Check flannel guy, because it's neat. And so I don't know, when do you got an estimated time frame? Maybe it's going to come to market or something, or is it still in the R&D phase? Is that where we're at?
yeah, I think R&D.
Basically going to be
It's pretty close.
being tested this fall
Yep.
with a few different guys.
Yep.
A few different sets out in the wild.
Yeah.
So,
So look
Can we call
forward to
dibs
that.
to that? Can we get on the sign up list? For that?
You can. I do have a list, and I'm trying to get him going as soon as possible, but Daniel's got the guy tied up, so on the back burner. Which, hey, it's all right. He's
Yeah.
worked harder than I have, so.
It's a big
So
deal
I'll-
when 5 guys are sitting here and all of them watch the same shit.
Yeah. No, I think it's cool. Do you happen to know like an estimated price point, or that's still to be determined? We're pretty
Check
early
that
in this,
out.
right?
yeah.
Yeah, we have a few numbers, and as of right now, I know eventually, of course, when you start out with any kind of prototype or first product, it's going to probably be a little bit higher. As of right now, it's around that $100 mark. It's a premium stick. So
Okay,
I'd
that's
like to
good.
get it under that, but in time, in bulk, you know how that goes. So
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, any of the sticks that pretty much are out there on market right now, that's made in America, it's quality materials, you're going to be at that $100 to $150 mark anyway. That was kind of hard for me to swallow when I first got back into like hunting with that kind of stuff, especially when I hadn't used climbing sticks in like 4 years, right? I had some, bought some XLPs, put them and hung them on the shelf in the barn and never looked at them again. And then just kept using my Lone Wolf hand climber. And then Austin and I got back into kind of dabbled in saddle hunting and started talking to Austin. And all of a sudden, Austin's just spouting off all these different names of sticks that I've never even heard of before. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, you know, so-and-so and Jason over at Timber Ninjas, and he's got these C1s. It's pretty cool. They're carbon fiber and blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" Come on. Okay, let's rewind that and talk about that a little bit more. Started talking about it. I'm like, okay, this is a dude I have to talk to as well. So I did an episode with Jason and like got the full info on the product. And I mean, Austin is like the engineering mind that's always racing and running. So he's always with these other products and playing with them. So he had the background to be like, oh yeah, oh no, hey, oh, if you like that, here, you should look at this and check this out. And yeah, oh yeah, I make something for the Hawk Helium sticks. You can take those suction cups off and blah, blah, blah. It went on and on. I'm like, wow, my head was just swimming afterwards, and I had to write stuff down as I was doing my editing so I could get all these different companies and products and check them out. So that was pretty neat. And then now I come here to the saddle event. We see your awesome stick. So nobody try and steal it because it's already been here. It's first and everybody's seen it. So
and we're going to be going through Eastern Woods Outdoors initially is the plan, selling it through him. So we've been collaborating on how that's going to go. So hopefully sooner than later, but it's getting close, a whole lot closer now than it was. So
like I said, Dano's the godfather of the
oh man, he's the
I
man.
love working with other companies. You know, working
It's
with
great.
Austin. You know,
Been
get him,
awesome.
then he's big enough he can be on his own. But been with Sam for a couple of years now too. The
Mhm.
Altimators, Michigan.
Yep.
We work with the Altimator.
What's the Altimator?
Adjustable aider.
Here you go.
Uh-oh, missed
Come on,
something.
let's go.
You missed something.
Oh, yeah.
What's the Ultimator? I don't know what that is.
The biggest question with the one sticks, and even regular sticks, the guys want to add an 8 or 2, that want a webbing aider, is the step distance. What step distance will work? It's not a one size fits all. So we work with them. We got some questions. Austin's going to use a different step distance than I'm going to use. So the Ultimator is an adjustable step, adjustable aider that can be a 1-step, 2-step, 3-step, or you can just change it out. Then each one can be adjusted 12 inches to 20 inches or something like that. So it's completely adjustable. Beginning of the season, lighter clothes, bigger step. Wearing the bibs in late season, you might shorten that step down.
How do you adjust the step?
Yeah, series of frame buckles and links.
Okay.
So
there's links built within the outside rails, if you'll call them that.
Yep.
And then you can adjust. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. That's a pretty clever product.
Yeah.
And that's called the Ultimator.
The Ultimator.
And so who's the owner of that? It looks like I've got more more research to do.
Reach out to John Richards, the Ultimator. We call him the Ultimator. But we just came out with the pack and play as well for rolling up. It's a mini roll pouch for the aider. So it mounts right on the back of the double step. And these can be mounted on most double step sticks. So you just roll it up in the pouch, hook it with the G hooks, and then easy deployment, nice, easy aider management.
I like how saddle hunters just throw around all this lingo, like
You should know this.
the G hooks. I don't know. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I'll be on social media and somebody will post something about, like the Make Hunting Great Again web page, and I'm like, wait, who is that? I'll message him and be like, dude, what is this? I'm not sure I even understand. Who is this person? And apparently I must live under a rock and just keep to myself other than this podcast. And
You just live in Illinois. So.
I guess maybe that's it, because it seems like there's a lot of saddle hunting products that come from here out of Michigan.
Well, you should be familiar with Stealth Outdoors too, right?
Like the stealth strips, right?
Strips,
Okay,
yep.
see,
Yep.
Michigan as well, I'm guessing.
Michigan as
See,
well.
He was supposed to come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was going to come last minute, couldn't make it, but we were one of the first ones that he was actually selling to us wholesale, so that we could resell on our site. Now he sells some to other stores as well. But
see,
he sells them to me. I think I sold out of all the ones I bought.
Oh,
So I need to. If you're listening to this,
there was a lot of
be
guys
ready.
grabbing them.
Yeah.
I don't need them. I'm gonna say I don't need them if I ever get my C1 sticks.
Oh, okay.
If I ever get them, I probably won't need them.
But
But
you just have to take out your retirement for it.
yeah, well, we're not going to talk about that. There might be people that listen to this podcast that don't know what I bought and how much they were.
Like
So
what?
I'm not going to say.
I wasn't going to say.
Love you, honey.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know. It's I mean, what is it about Michigan that makes people become saddle hunters versus everywhere else? I mean, now
I can tell you why. It's
Yeah.
because there's not a lot of deer running around. We
Yep.
think there aren't, and so
Yep.
we spend more time on gear than hunting.
Yep. Trying to chase that one way back there.
Yeah, I want to hunt, but I can't hunt because there's no deer here. At least that's what I'm gonna tell everybody.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
looks
yeah.
like deer country to me around here. Maybe
Oh.
it's different in other parts, but I
We have
mean,
a high
it looks like
fence around
every
here.
person has 5 to 10 acres for every house that I passed on this entire
Well,
road.
that's actually a zoning thing for our township. Is like you have to have so much like acreage to have
Okay.
a house. So
See, and that's what I was thinking in my head. I'm like, wow, everybody's so nicely spaced out here.
Mhm.
It works out well. So I don't know. Maybe it's different where you guys are from on what the eastern half of the state,
Mhm.
right?
it can be, yeah.
Mhm.
I got 40 neighbors.
That's but you've got 40
Oh,
neighbors. You live in
so-
a neighborhood then,
Yeah.
like a subdivision. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't know, man. It seems like you guys focus an awful lot on the whole saddle hunting, and
Yeah.
then you got people. And I'm not going to say who said it, but I heard them say it. That saddle hunting is like the Nickelback of the hunting industry right
Oh,
now.
man.
I can see
But
that. They'll change. Nickelback.
I'm not sure what that even means, because
Yeah.
apparently I live under a rock. I get it. I don't know. I don't listen to Nickelback, but maybe that's a bad thing. I'm not sure.
Save
But-
yourself. Don't even inquire.
But no, I don't know. It seems like you guys come up with a lot of cool products and stuff. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I'm kind of still fresh into it. I don't experiment apparently as much as you guys do with your gear, especially like if I find something that works. Kind of like when you called me up and told me, "Hey, there's this other knot out there." Sam the Amstel guy, calls me right after I post a picture of how I attached my stick to the tree and, hey, there's a different way and somebody's doing it. But if it works, I'm not going to change it, especially if it's convenient. So I don't know, man. It's pretty good little show. What's your plans for like next year and everything, Austin? You gonna?
So for next year,
4 events.
4 events.
4 events.
4 events.
At least 2.
Wow.
All right, you got to up it at least 2.
I don't know.
Spring and fall.
I got to talk
Come
to
on.
the boss that ran the show with my wife. No, like next year we'll do it obviously a little earlier in the summer. So it's not right before deer season or during deer season for some people. So our plan is to try to do something a little earlier in the year, like maybe June sometime, July, something like that. So we can get more people here and get vendors like Dan and Sam were here. I don't know, it's just fun to be in community. So we might have to get a bigger space or tell my uncle not to plant the cornfield next to our house. But yeah, the plans for next year is, I mean, we'll plan it way in advance and we'll probably have some companies here because a lot of guys wanted to buy saddles. They're like, hey, is anybody selling saddles here? And I'm like, nope, but we're going to give them away. Oh, wait, there's one company doing saddles right now. And then I was like, okay, send them over there. But, yeah, it just helps when there's, like, people here that aren't readily available to see in person. And you can be like, oh, just go talk to Sam. He does all the Amsteel stuff.
Yeah.
Dano does pretty much everything. But,
Well, that's like I think your little saddle trees that you had set up. You could have used probably like 6 or 8 more of them because there was people like just waiting in line to demo stuff and get on it and play with it and have somebody instruct them on it. And then I went and came over to the lunch thing, and I came back and walking over there, and there's these kids playing on the saddles, and the kid goes, well, what number are you? I want to get on there. And so it was like everybody was wanting to get on there, even the little kids, and play with them too. So I mean, that's pretty cool. So you thinking like for real 2 events or just one?
No, one? I will probably travel. We'll travel to other events. But I think for us, we'll just do one big event. Like you saw, like you guys were here and saw all the donations, and I posted them on social media. It was unreal the amount of support we got from a lot of big names in the industry, and I mean, there's almost $9,000 worth of gear on that table.
Wow.
So it was just kind of cool we created a spreadsheet and entered in all the stuff, and we're just like tiled up how much it was, and we're like, that's how much we have to give away.
Wow.
And like it was
that was a huge giveaway table, especially for an event that you didn't even know how many people were coming.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a fair amount of people that walked away with some really nice stuff.
Yeah.
The guy standing next to me, as I'm looking at my tickets, and didn't win anything, but that's okay. That's okay. That's not why I came.
Or the kid that wins something, and he's like the top, like Tim's son, who's like one of the top 15 people, and he walks up and grabs a pile of loose cell strips, and his dad's like, "Are you kidding me? There's stuff on there. It's like $300."
Yeah. Get something I can sell, I think is what he yelled out. But no, I mean, the guy standing next to me won a set of beast sticks, and then like 2 minutes later wins an entire tethered Phantom.
Oh, wow.
And the ropes and everything with it. And I was like, whoa, you just walked away with like $700 worth of stuff.
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's now you got to top it next year, right?
Well, I mean,
I don't think it'd be hard.
No,
After this, I think it'll be good.
I think really, I mean, my wife and I were talking about it, and we're like, these are all just given to us, like, and these were from companies that, like, Dano brought a Safeguard, which is like gold right now, and yeah, I mean,
what is a Safeguard? See,
so it's a rappelling device, so you can rappel out of a tree, and they're really hard to find right now. And Dano has some, and if you want one, give him a call because he'll give you one, get you one. But yeah, I mean, there's just so much. It was unreal. So I think if we kind of market it in a way that, hey, this is coming up. We'll have like Greg and Ernie wanted to come, and whatnot. So, and it was just tight. I didn't even know John like Richards was from Michigan. I would have totally like hit him up.
He was going to try to make it. He couldn't come.
Okay.
Due to work.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like we planned this a month ago, and it turned out to be this, and it was like, holy crap! There's 136 people by the end of the show, and there's people that had to leave early. So I think we're right around like maybe like 150. And that's not even. That's like maybe including kids.
Yeah,
too.
I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna. Next time, don't provide the food. I'll bring a food truck or something. And we'll park it and just start selling some tacos or something.
Yeah,
and
for
see
sure.
what we can do.
Yeah.
Let's go back. What is it called again? The rescue thing?
The Mad Rock Safeguard.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to know more than just you can rappel out of a tree with it. Are people using it as just a regular rappelling device, or is it like an emergency thing, like a safety mechanism?
So with the one sticking, climbing back down is not fun. There are guys that will do it, but I'm not going to do it. So rappelling is just faster, safer. I was rappelling before I was even one sticking. So with 4 sticks, I would climb up and I would still rappel down. I felt safer doing that. But with one sticking, you can actually use the safeguard as your progress capture as you're climbing. You can use it as your tether, hanging on that, and then you can rappel down. So the concept of clipping in at the ground level to your device and staying connected to that the whole way, so you're never disconnected.
Interesting. So the whole one sticking thing, and I watched the demo and I've seen it done before, and I've got a buddy that does it, but like, doesn't it seem like it's more work than just having a stick? How is it not more work?
It's one of those things. Like Chris was the guy that was demoing it for us. He wasn't a one sticker till this year. Like when one sticking kind of got popular, he was like, I'll try it out. And then he was just like, this is it. If you spend the time, it's like anything that you do in life. If you spend the time to learn it and really do it, then it's worth it. But I think when you watch one sticking, a lot of people are like, oh, that's cool. And like the people who like think always about gear, they're the ones that are like, okay, I'm really gonna invest time in that.
So when you guys are one sticking, do you put your anchor on the tree and then you just keep moving it, or are you the guy that throws like the rappel line over, like a throw bag over the branch and all that? Like, to me that seems, and I've got a buddy that does that quite a bit. He's like, well, if I find a tree with the perfect crotch, I'm gonna throw that over rather than do it the other way because it's just so much better and faster. And I'm like, I don't know. To me, it seems like a lot of work, especially in the dark.
Yeah.
Or on a property that you've never even hunted before. You're going in on public, and you're trying to figure out like where you're gonna go. It just seems like I can go, well, hey, there's a tree right there. I'm gonna go in it, and then to have to find one with the right crotch and all that, it doesn't seem practical. So how is what you guys are doing that much different?
So we're climbing up. You're setting your stick as high as you can reach almost. Climbing up, the use of aiders allows you to extend that. So you climb up, you're on your stick, setting your rope as high as you can reach, sitting back down in, grabbing your stick, and moving it back up as high as you can reach, and leapfrogging basically up the tree. So you don't have to set your rope all the way up at hunting height. You're only setting your rope as high as you can reach. And as you take a step or two, you're raising your rope up, and you've got products that allow you to safely do that. So you can grab your rope, and you're raising your rope, and that's the most risky time. So if you fall, it's going to catch you, but if your fingers are under there, there's some concern there. So products like what you have make that safer. So
do you guys use? Maybe I didn't see the demo close enough, and I should have watched it even better. But do you guys use your lineman's belt and the rope so at the same time, like in conjunction? So really, there's not a whole lot of risk involved with that.
No. But the risk is when you're climbing and not using your lineman and not raising your tether or rappel rope higher. So you don't want to have that slack built up. And there's some videos out there that show a lot of slack in the system, and that's where people are going to get hurt. But if you take a step or two and you raise it, or if you're using your lineman, I don't use my lineman until I get on top of my stick. Then I put my lineman on, and then I raise it, and that's a safer way to raise that up as high as I can. I undo the lineman and then climb.
Don't you hate having to undo your stick every time? I don't know. I just
well, you got to undo your stick coming down if you use 3 sticks, right?
Yeah, but depending on where I'm at and if I'm not coming back like for a while, or even at all in that spot because I don't like it or whatever. Sometimes I'll just lower it down by the tether, the whatever attachment method is holding it to the tree and let it drop, 3-4 feet, whatever. Unless I plan on coming back to that spot and I don't want to blow it out, but you never know.
You're doing all the same work you'd normally do with a 3 sticks or 2 sticks or whatever, how many moves you make, but you're just doing it all at one time. So like you're doing attaching it, climbing up, reach down, untaching it. Then you're attaching it, untaching it kind of thing. So you're just doing that all at the beginning of your hunt instead of at the end of your hunt.
Right. So then how do you rappel down? Are you actually...
Like Batman?
Yeah. So instead of using your rope like your anchor rope to go up the tree, right, because that's how you're getting up. So now you guys are taking and just putting a rope in the tree
Well, it's same rope.
Same rope.
Same rope.
Yep. So now you're already connected still,
And you're just moving it down.
and you're just rappelling down. Grab your stick on the way down, and finish rappelling all the way down to the ground, and then just pulling your rope down out of the tree when you're done.
So you put like a piece of paracord or something
Paracord
to
or
it to
Dynaglide.
loosen it up. Kind of the same way if you were using a throw bag or whatever.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
No, I don't know. To me, it still seems.
Were you watching
You,
that demo?
you gotta try
Well,
it.
there
for
were so
yourself.
many people here, Austin. I couldn't get in close enough to see.
Well, you should have told them all to leave or something.
Yeah, get out of here. Get out of my way.
Yep,
Don't
my
you
turn.
know I have to do research? Yeah. No, I'll have to watch, or you could show me right now. You could.
Can we do that on the podcast? Do like a one sticking podcast right now?
I don't know if I have enough
Oh,
cord.
man. Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
No. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. To me, maybe I'll have to try it. I'll probably have to just try it, right, to
Try
it
see if I
first.
like it, and then go from there.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. I think I think that's a good point to
I
just
have
wrap it
multiple
up.
75-year-old customers one sticking.
Wow.
Multiple.
Seriously?
Wow.
Multiple.
Come on.
Over 70, one sticking.
Man.
I'll be lucky if I'm hunting at 70 the
know.
way I see it.
Same
Like
here.
I don't know. I mean, good for them. I'm glad they can do it. I hope to be able-bodied enough to do that at 70. I probably need to start taking better care of myself now, but
Mm-hmm. Don't we all?
yeah.
Yeah,
No, okay, 70-year-old doing it now just makes me feel like,
you're a slouch.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But then again, I don't know if you guys know, but like Brian Barney, that's like trying to beat him up the mountain. I was sitting there talking
Oh,
to him,
man.
and he goes, I said something about, yeah, well, maybe when Brian's about 60, I'll be able to beat him up the mountain. He goes, nah, I doubt it. I'm going to be running that mountain into my 80s,
Wow.
which realistically I can see that happening too. So that's pretty cool. But no, it's awesome show. It's great to actually finally meet all of you guys in person. So I hope that happens again. Are you guys talking about having a show too somewhere, or what's going on with that? Are we
Next
going to
year.
call it like a meetup event, or is it like an actual show? You're going to turn it into like an expo? Is it going to be an
Combination.
Eastern Woods Outdoors Expo?
There
To
you
be
go.
determined.
Okay.
There you go.
I just want to know. Let's hype it up. Let's see what we.
See how Sam's involved. We'll pull this together. We got quite a few people that we're associated with at Eastern Woods that we would pull together and put a good event on.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then pretty soon your product will be coming out to market, and looking forward to that. Like I said, it's pretty cool, man. I've never seen anything like it, so that's pretty awesome. It's a good show that you put on, Austin.
Yep.
Yep.
Like I said, it's pretty cool to finally meet all you guys in person and meet quite a few new people and have some pretty cool conversations and play with some products. For instance, like that 2-bore saddle, I'm pretty sure, I don't even know if I
You're
said
sold
that
on that.
right, but
Mhm.
I like it.
Yeah.
I do. I'm pretty sold on that. So even though I didn't buy one today, I'll probably end up getting one. So
They'll be around.
yeah, for sure. But no, I appreciate it, and thanks for being as hospitable as you guys all have
Yeah,
been.
thank
And
you.
that's the one thing I've noticed about the hunting community and even the saddle hunters. A lot of people bash them, but I got to say they're all pretty good group of people that I've met so far and willing to help you
Yeah.
because they're all always modding their own gear and doing a bunch of crazy unsafe one sticking rappelling like Batman type things. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
It's
you know,
fun.
to add to that, like you would not believe how many people message me and ask me, "Hey, I'm coming. Do you need help with anything?" And I'm like, "What in the world? Thanks. Yeah. Just keep an eye on people. Don't make sure nobody's doing anything stupid to get themselves hurt."
Yeah, for sure. So let's kind of go around. We'll wrap this up because everybody's got a drive ahead of them, and
Yeah,
I'm sure I'm sure you're pretty tired though from running around and doing all
Yeah.
this. So,
That was fun.
Dano, people, where are they going to find you? Get all the good stuff. Maybe they have some questions they want to reach out to you.
Yep.
Where would we do that?
Anytime, doublesteps.com. There's a contact us page there. On social media, Facebook. If you see somebody named Hunter Osterhout, that's Hunter O. That's my son, my right-hand man. So he's on our social media. So Facebook, Instagram. You can find us Eastern Woods Outdoors.
So pretty much don't reach out to Dano. He's not going to help you at all. He's too
Gonna be in a
busy.
tree.
He's too busy being in a tree hunting. But
Yeah.
so then we can't exactly talk about yet when it's coming out, right? But
Yeah, we don't have a set date right now.
okay. But stay tuned. Look for it on Eastern Woods or Double Step Outdoors.
Either one will get you there.
Because that's what I always type in Eastern Woods now that I put two
Mhm.
and two together since
Yep.
Austin made the connection for me. But
Just
and
put Dano in the search button. You'll find it.
Yeah.
EWO Hunt is shorter. EWO Hunt, that gets you there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Austin, where can people find you, reach out to you, maybe buy some headbands from your wife? And
She made some custom G3D neck gaiters today.
Man. No way.
Yeah. So for me, you can find us. Our social media is Genesis 3D Printing. We have it on Facebook, Instagram. We even have a YouTube account. It's more just to kind of show our products because they're kind of unique and different. So that's, and our website is genesis3dprinting.com. So yeah, reach out to us through any of those. There's so many ways to communicate. We'll try to catch up with you. So
nice. And Sam,
Yep.
where are they going to get a hold of you?
Same spot, just doublesteps.com /the Amsteel Guy, Eastern Woods Outdoors / the Amsteel Guy. You'll find everything on there. If you want to call me or text me, my number's on my Facebook and my Instagram. You can also reach out on the social media platforms. So
that's it, huh?
That's it. Yep.
Okay.
Same as last time.
All right. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing all the knowledge and cool products and stuff.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it all and looking forward to next year now. So, like you said, Austin, you said, it's so cool. Everybody meets up. We're doing all this stuff. We spend so much time on gear, and then you're hyped up and you sit there and go, oh, man, I'm going to sit here now.
hype up all this gear, and I sit in a tree, and I'm like, oh, where's that deer at?
Yeah. So, no, it's cool. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
And once again, thank you so much for listening to the Publicly Challenged podcast. I hope you enjoyed the show, and if you did, please subscribe on whatever platform it is you're listening to. Also, if you could leave a review, that would help us out. And you can check us out on Instagram or at publiclychallenged.com. And once again, thank you so much for listening to the show.